Hey, welcome back everybody. It's been a while. I'm a little bit older, got more gray hair, probably put on 5-6 pounds since my last video several months ago, but I'm back and I'm getting ready to play the Legend of Blacksilver, and I'm going to do a long play series of videos on this game. Not sure how long it's going to take me. Probably going to take me a little bit of time, but without further ado, let's jump into the game. First thing we got to do is create a new character. Insert a character disc. Now, there are several discs that this game is compiled together on. Actually, there's 4 discs. So there is going to be some disc swapping, and I'm going to do my best to edit a lot of that out and the load times out for the most part. Here we go. An early dawn. You awake with a start. Your dream seems so amazingly real. Princess Aelia, daughter of the king of all Bantros, had come to you in search of a champion. Baran Taragas has found Blacksilver in his infernal mines, she said with a shudder, and I fear for us all. Blacksilver, a part of the ancient tales of evil, the power to raise mountains and drain the seas. My father raised a great army to march against Taragas, but was kidnapped before he could lead them. Now the noble wizard Saraval has sent me to find a hero possessed of the wisdom and inner courage to lift the shadow from our land. She paused, looking intently into your eyes, and then whispered, I choose you. Pressing something into the palm of your hand, she slipped out through the mists of your dream, her voice lingering long enough to say, Seek my brother in the castle. By my gift, he will know you. And now you sit in the pale light of the dawn, smiling at the grand dreams of a simple serf with fields to tend, until you open your hand and see the feather. The fields can wait. And so the adventure begins. Now, actually, if you have the manual to this game, there's a lot of backstory on Blacksilver, the lands that we're gonna be adventuring on. There's a big call to adventure section. I printed off the manual myself that goes into a lot more detail on this little dream scene that they share here. But basically, it's condensed for this purpose here. So let's start the game. Insert side 3. Alright, here we go. I'm going to pause the game a minute by hitting game speed. We're going to leave it at 4. So basically going back to the overall adventure, Blacksilver is a really rare element, and it's capable of incredible magics and building incredible weapons. The bad guy of the story, Baran Taragas, has found it, and he's planning on using it. He's evil, he's bad. The king of the entire realm raised an army, was going to go after him. He got kidnapped. Other champions, according to this backstory here, have come and gone, and they've failed. And the princess, with the aid of the wizard Saraval, has gone out into people's dreams, and she's chosen you, us, to be the avatar of the story, so to speak, and play the game. So that's what we're doing. Now, this game is really similar to Legacy of the Ancients. It was developed by Quest Software. And the people at Quest Software were Charles and John Dougherty. They were twin brothers. They made the game Questron. They made the game Legacy of the Ancients. They advised on Questron 2, but they didn't develop it themselves. Some people get that confused. They really didn't program it or develop it. They kind of just advised on Questron 2. And then this game was their third game, The Legend of Blacksilver, that they made in-house at Quest Software. Sadly, the publisher of this game was Epyx. This game was released in 1988. That was at the same time Epyx declared bankruptcy and went out of business. This game didn't have a lot of advertising oomph behind it, so to speak, and it didn't do well. It wasn't a mass-produced game that hit a lot of computer store shelves back in the day. So it was kind of, a lot of people didn't know about it, and it didn't do well. The brothers at Quest Software got a little bit discouraged, and they decided to stop making games, and they went off and they did other things. So this was the last game that they made, and this is by far, I think, the favorite of the 3 games that they developed in-house at Quest Software. I love it a lot. So basically we have our character here. We named him Iwan. I'm a serf. I have 0 days in game, and everybody starts with the same stats. Dexterity, strength, charisma, endurance, intelligence, all set at 15. This is our inventory. It shows our armor and weapons. We currently have shoddy leather armor. You hit spacebar, it goes to other possessions we have. We have the falcon feather that the princess left us when she was in our dream. Whatever, that's kind of creepy, right, huh? Going out and haunting dudes' dreams like that. Hope she's cute. Anyway, the next one we got player inventory, magic spells, which we don't have anything of. And full disclosure, last time I played this game from beginning to end was probably back in 1988 when it came out, maybe into 1989. Shortly around 1989, I got an Amiga, and I didn't use the Commodore 128 as much as I had been. So this is almost one of the last games that I played on my Commodore 128. But I have played this off and on over the past, I don't know, 20 years. I would load it into emulators and mess around with it, but I wouldn't get very far. The first part of the game that I'm playing right now, I'm familiar with, and we're just kind of going to go through the motions of the game at this point. At some point, it's going to get a little bit more difficult to remember what I have to do, and things are probably going to slow down. But for now, let's go inside the castle. So here we go. The princess in her dream said, take the feather to the castle, talk to her brother, that way he'll know that we're the champion that she chose. Okay, like I said, this game was released in 1988. It was originally developed for the Commodore 64, but it was ported to the Apple II before Epyx went out of business. They did have plans to port it to the PC as well, but they did not do that. They did not get that far. Let's use the falcon feather. Open the door. The engine that was used to create this game was the same one that they used for Legacy of the Ancients, but it had some upgrades, some tweaks to it. And this game is 33 or 35% larger than Legacy of the Ancients was. So it's a good-sized game. You see the prince on a dais. All right, let's speak to him. I am the prince of this castle and all lands around here. I see you have an interesting feather. May I have it? Yes or no? This game would be over pretty quick if I said no, so we'll say yes. Since you come with the feather, I know my sister selected you to be our champion. I only pray that you are not too late. It's been many days since the king was kidnapped. Hey, dude, how are you okay with your sister going out using magic to go into other guys' dreams, huh? It's kind of, I don't know, a little naughty. There is much to do. The earthquakes continue to batter the castle. A landslide now blocks entrance to the inner chambers. The wizard Saraval is trapped inside, imprisoned by orcs. Will you help? Again, yes. Here is a key. You must find a way to get past the landslide. Once you do, you'll have to defeat the orcs who have captured the inner castle chambers. My gold is yours, provided you use it for good. The wizard Saraval has much to offer if you can defeat the orcs and free him. Godspeed. And there we go. Okay, so the adventure begins. Already there's earthquakes racking the land. Evil Baran is using the Blacksilver and doing all kinds of mischievous things. I think I said it wrong the first time. So let's just look around the castle. I already kind of know the layout fairly well, but we're just going to show everybody. Use that small key, open that door. Now that key will not work on this door. It says a small key, it doesn't fit this door. But up here is the landslide that blocks off the inner chamber of the castle. That's what the prince was talking about. We can't get past that. We have to figure out a way to get past that. and that is the first part of the quest. Just like Legacy of the Ancients and Questron before it, you don't get experience by killing monsters and things like that. You get experience in advanced levels by completing phases of the overall quest of the game. So right now we're a serf. I don't know what the next level title is. I forget what it is. But as we go up in levels, we'll get more hit points and things like that. You find a blue gem. Now I have to use that gem to retrieve an artifact that's going to help me clear the landslide that blocks the inner chamber. Use the small key. Alright. Now things we can do, we can examine stuff, like whatever this thing on the wall is. The castle in a private section next to a stuffed animal head. See, that's very, very enlightening. Open. I'm playing this game using a combination of keyboard and controller. Back in the day, I had a TAC2 joystick that I used to play all my games. I had a couple TAC2s. I do have a equivalent of that joystick that is USB that plugs into the PC here that I'm playing this on. But it broke. So right now I'm using a Logitech game controller that I had laying around. I'm not a big fan of game controllers like this, but you know, whatever. And as I said, I am playing this on a PC, but I'm actually playing it via emulation, a Commodore 64 emulator called Vice. And I'm using the Amiga Forever, the Commodore 64 Forever equivalent that you can get through Clonto. Or Clone 2. I don't know how they pronounce it. Alright. Alright. We got all the gold. We got a blue gem. Now we get to leave. And actually there's an auto leave function on this game that we can use if we want to, just by hitting L. Leave. And let's just do that right now. Let's stop wandering around. I want to leave. Insert disc 3. Alright. Unknown creature approaches. Flee! I don't have a weapon. I don't really much want to fight. And these guys do a lot of damage. So basically we're taking this gem. Hey, a peasant. Let's talk to him. Speak. I'm going to barter and see what he has to say. Do you want to buy 31 days of food for 37 gold? No. It was a good deal. There's temples in this game. I believe there's 3 of them. And some of the temples have catacombs in them that you can access. And it's a lot like Legacy of the Ancients Galactic Museum, where you could wander around and open up display cabinets and access the cabinets with gems. In this game we use gems to access the cabinets. In Legacy of the Ancients you used coins. Same thing, different, you know, whatever. Yes, let's enter this town. Okay, so this is not the temple. This is a town, but this town is on the way to the temple. And I'm coming here because I want to deposit my gold in a bank. I'm not going to buy any food because we're going to die soon. And it's almost necessary to play the game to die when you start out. Yeah, I'll do you a favor. Take this package to Glen Lake. Okay, so we got a mail delivery. So, leather... Glen Lake package. So if I can take that, I'll get some gold. Of course, if I die, which I'm planning on, I'll lose the package, I believe. Anyway, I'm here because I want to put some money in the bank. I'm not going to buy anything else at this point, like armor. Let's just see what they have for giggles. They have good leather. Okay, that's nice. Not going to buy... Excuse me. Not going to buy anything. I want to put my gold in the bank because... when your gold's in the bank and time passes, you get interest on the amount of money that you have in the bank. You want to make money, You're going to need a lot of money to win this game, to buy magic, buy armor, all kinds of fun stuff, buy healing, all that good stuff. So you're going to need money. So let's deposit 300. Yeah, let's deposit 300 gold. That'll leave me with 135 gold. Because I'm going to need some gold to get into the catacombs underneath Owl Temple. But really quick, let's just check out what these other shops are, because I don't remember. You never know. Magic! Tongue of Flame, Lightning Bolt. I'm not going to buy any magic. What's this guy selling? He's selling weapons. What does he got? A great whip. Ooh. I wouldn't mind having a good whip, but that's not a priority either. What's this guy's deal? That's a guard. What are you selling? Okay, he buys... like to buy or use weapons and armor. Nah. Well, that's it. Let's get out of this town. We're going to move on to Owl Temple and enter the catacombs and find that artifact that we need to clear that landslide that's in the castle. Leave. All right, here we go. On to Owl Temple. A blood pup. Run! Run! Okay. Yeah. A creature is approaching. Boy, there's lots of hostility out here in the wilds. I'm in a desert, my food's getting low, I don't care because I'm planning on dying. Basically, when you die, you get resurrected back with more hit points than what you started the game with. That's why I want to die, because we're going to need those hit points to fight those orcs once we clear the landslide. So that's why I'm planning on dying. Let's enter the temple. This is Owl Temple. Oh, I gotta swap discs. Here we go. Okay, just because I can and I got the information in front of me, Computer Gaming World gave this game a mixed review. They said the game is fine on a technical level, but on an artistic level, it seems to be a rehash of 1,000 other games, with nothing new or interesting for experienced players. I disagree. I love this game. Yes, there's a lot of games out there at this time in 1988 that preceded it. The developers, were right up there behind Ultima 1 and 2 with Questron, their first one. So they were originators, and Questron actually had some nice improvements over Ultima 1 and Ultima 2 in the grand scheme of things. So I disagree with Computer Gaming World to an extent. This is a great game. I love this game. I am the cleric of the Great Owl Temple. Please understand that you are a visitor to a shrine of the wonderful gods of Bantros. How much tribute do you offer? I offer 20 tribute. And that heals. You get healed when you do that. Okay, would you like to tour the archives for 100 gold? Yes, I would. So that's why we kept some of our gold here, so that we could go down here in the archives. The brothers of our temples maintain these archives as a holy tribute to Bantros' life. Many of these displays are magical, several are dangerous. Each display requires a special gem to be viewed. Once you've seen a display, you can often view it again with no gem. Good to know. Let's go down into the catacombs and find the artifact that we need to clear the landslide. Okay, so as you can see, the archives here are very similar. You've seen this before if you played Legacy of the Ancients and a few other games out there, but they're really very identical in appearance in a lot of ways, which is fine. See, there's exhibits. You can access them. Like this one says mountains. Press a key to continue. You haven't used this exhibit. It costs 1 amethyst gem, which I don't have. I have a blue gem that I can use to access a display. And I think I remember where this display is. It's right over here, right? Is it this one? Open the singing crystal. Alright, the singing crystal, the sign says. You haven't used this exhibit. 1 blue gem. Do I want to use it? Yes, I do. Bantros miners have long used the special powers of the singing crystal to aid them in their mining activities. These unique vibrating rocks actually loosen the structure of nearby rocks. Cool. A trained miner can direct this power to bore tunnels and even clear caverns. Huh? I remember back when I first played this game, I probably wandered around for 2 or 3 weeks. Didn't have a clue what I was supposed to do. And then I, eventually, through exploring the continent and the temples and things, dying a bunch of times, you come across this and you move on with the adventure, and it's very linear in nature. But I mean, I remember having to explore and look around and stuff back in the day. Here is a small singing crystal for you for your own use. So, woo! We got a chunk of singing crystal. Let's check our inventory. Leather shotty, small key, Glen Lake package, and 1 singing crystal, and no magic spells. What was that? We've been in game 19 days. So far in game time, 19 days. Alright. So now, what I want to do is I want to die. Because when I die, I'll get resurrected someplace on the game map. The outer world, the big world. I'll get resurrected, but I'll come back with 300 hit points instead of the 200 hit points that I started the game with originally. And I'm going to need those hit points in order to fight the orcs and make it, decent. Can I open this? Leave the archives, yes. Insert disk 3. So when you leave the archives, you actually don't go back into the temple. You would go back to the outside world. Really quick, the game, here's another review. The game was reviewed in 1989 by Dragon Magazine, issue 144, by Hartley, Patricia, and Kirk Lesser. And they said the role of they said in the role of computers column, basically they just gave the game a 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a written review, it was a starred review, and they gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So Dragon Magazine, 1989, issue 144, Hartley, Patricia, and Kirk gave this game 4 out of 5 stars. Very well done. So now we're gonna wander around and run out of food. Each day that passes, I make interest on the money that's in the bank that I deposited. And then we're going to die, and then we're going to get resurrected someplace on the map, and I don't know where. It's a pretty big continent. 3, 2, 1, we're going to die. There's a town right in view, but we're going to die before we get there. You died, see? Alright, now we're going to resurrect, and I'm hoping that the crystal is still in my inventory. I'm pretty sure the package that I got will be gone. The life force of Saraval resurrects you from the grave. Thanks, Saraval. See, I got 300 hit points, food 51, and 51 gold. I got leather armor. I still have the singing crystal. I got the small key, and nothing else has changed. 30 days have gone by. I should have some gold in the bank. What else? So what I want to do now is I want to buy a weapon. I want to get some gold out of the bank, enough to buy a weapon, and then I want to go back to the castle, clear the landslide, kill the orcs, find the wizard Saraval, talk to him, and figure out what I got to do for my next move on the quest. That's what's coming up. I'm going to end this video here. This is a good teaser, a good start to get things going. And when we come back and continue the game, we're going to start off just like I mentioned just a minute ago what we're going to be doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You enjoyed some of the information that I provided about the Legend of Blacksilver. And I hope anyone who comes across this video enjoys it, and they'll continue to follow along in the follow-up videos, and maybe even use this eventually as a playthrough guide at some point. If somebody comes across it and wants to play along, that's awesome. That's cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care, stay safe, and remember, if everybody gamed in the world and had a good time, laughed, enjoyed themselves, the world would be a better place. See you on the next one.